Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. First things first, I do apologize for how I sound today, getting over being sick. So hopefully I'm back to, normal and 100% here soon. But regardless, we do have some brand new information to go over when it comes to one of the future major map updates for Warzone 2. We've talked about this a little bit ago, actually. You might recall that a little bit ago, we talked about how in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, there is actually a map that can be seen in one of the levels that basically looks like it's the overview of a Warzone map. Very similar to how we have like the general overview for Al Mazrah. And within that Al Mazrah map, obviously we have several different locations that are recognizable from other aspects of the game, whether it be from the campaign or if it's from multiplayer with 6v6 maps or even ground war maps. It's very much so laid out just like that, because on this map that can be seen in the campaign, there's actually two ground war maps that can be seen, and lined up in the overall area here. So the general assumption is that this map is going to be the next Warzone map, and it's going to take place in Las Almas, which obviously would make plenty of sense considering that is a main location from the campaign, one of the larger ones. It's basically that and Al Mazrah where a lot of things took place. So it would certainly line up and make sense with that. But now, lately, we actually got a brand new leak dump from in-game. That's what I'm calling it, because this includes a bunch of possible locations for this new Las Almas based Warzone map. Now, keep in mind, this is just leaks, this is just rumors, so things could very well change, right? Some of these locations could be updated. Most likely what we're seeing here for all these different location names that we're going to be going over, they're more than likely code names, or not the full-on final point of interest name, but take that for what it's worth. And then again, as always with leaks and rumors, things could be subject to change here, so we'll have to keep an eye out. But we do have a handful of different locations and points of interest leaked for this Las Almas map. So first up, we have Mill. Some of these, honestly, I would say a lot of these names are going to be very ambiguous. They're not going to go into much detail, so they're very broad in terms of what they're describing. But Mill could be similar to like Hovik Sawmill, I think it was, from MW 2019. Could be like a lumber yard or something like that, but we've got Mill. We have another one here. This is probably the most confusing in my opinion. Amazon. I mean, you think of that and you're probably thinking of the rainforest. Except that doesn't take place in Mexico, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. Maybe it's going to be a forest of some kinds, but not too sure on that one. We've also got Puerto. Again, not super specific in detail there. We've got Mall, and I think this one's kind of curious because on Al Mazrah, we already have the sort of mall location there over by Said Cities, so it could be a similar location to that. We also have Baseball, and this is one that I'm also very curious about because like there's two different outcomes for this. It could be like a sort of small outdoor like baseball field that like Little League would be played on, right? Or this could be a full-on like baseball stadium, which would be very cool as well. Like either or there, that'd be a pretty unique point of interest, and one that I don't imagine would offer much cover. You go into the base running path or you're in the outfield and you're probably dead to rights if somebody's up in the stands, waiting for you and camping that out. We also have Storage. I mean, you say that name and you're immediately thinking Storage Town from the OG Verdansk. They already brought it back to Caldera. I wouldn't really be all that surprised if they also brought it back here on this Las Almas map as well. We've got Narcos. Again, not super specific. This one is as obvious as it gets. Favela. I mean, we've all sort of expected Favela to be introduced into the game. It was leaked a long time ago before MW2 and Warzone 2 even dropped, so that'll probably end up being a brand new 6v6 map, and I'll talk more on that here in just a bit, but Favela as a location would make a lot of sense. We also have Nogales. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and this is actually a city in Arizona, like right on the borders, so perhaps that's what that is referencing. We've got Boardwalk. I think there was a map back in MW3 actually called Boardwalk. It was a DLC map. I doubt it would be that, but that's the only thing I could reference there that was close. We have Historic. Maybe this is like some kind of old city or something like that. We also have Prison, and I think there's again sort of two outcomes here that come to mind. It could be similar to the prison from OG Verdansk again, with obviously like the gulag and everything there. I don't think that would be the case, but it's certainly an option, or this could actually be the prison from the campaign where we have that mission taking place. That to me would obviously make a lot of sense, so that's what I'd expect out of that one. We've got Compound, again, very basic and very ambiguous. Power Plants could be similar to the one that we had on Caldera. Then lastly, we have airstrips. So another kind of, airport area. It could be a little bit more established. Maybe it has like some terminals, some hangars, similar to what we have now already on Al Mazrah, or perhaps it could be, more makeshift, if you will. Maybe it's like a dirt airstrip or something like that. We're obviously going to have to wait and see for everything here, but those are all the leaked locations for this future Warzone map. I want to talk more on the time frame here, then also what a lot of these leaked locations could actually indicate for the multiplayer side of things. Real quick before we get into that, if you guys are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. Also, if you guys enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Let's try and aim for 2,000 likes on this one. Now, when it comes to actually seeing this Las Almas map debut, that's where we basically have zero information whatsoever, but we can sort of theorize, about the long-term future here. As we've already talked about several times in other leaked videos, it seems like first up, we're going to see some kind of resurgence map, that leaked map that has, Castle and all those other locations that we've actually talked about here a bit more recently as well. And it seems like that one's going to debut potentially here in season 2, just based off all the leaks and the rumors that we've seen up until this point. So, first up on the new map schedule, if you will, we'd have that resurgence map. Now, I don't expect us to see another new map probably for quite some time. And that's where we jump into, late 2023, fall 2023, where as of right now, it's rumored that we're going to see that sort of premium expansion to MW2 led by Sledgehammer, curiously enough, but we don't have any information on what would be going on with the new Warzone map for that point, So that's where I would feel like the Las Almas map would come into place. So, resurgence map coming up here in season 2, maybe season 2 reloaded or something like that. And then, come this fall, since we're not seeing a full-on brand new title, we end up seeing this Las Almas map debut. And what I'm also really curious to see is if we actually finally have 2 major maps or 2 big maps in Warzone, where we can actually choose, if you want to play on Al Mazrah, or if you want to play on Las Almas, or if you want to play on whatever the resurgence map is called, and have all those coexisting at the same time, rather than the big map always replacing the previous map, like obviously what we saw with Verdansk 84, then also Caldera back in Warzone 1, which I do think would be really cool to see. It obviously could end up splitting the player base in a pretty significant way if one map is, just infinitely better than the other one. Like, say the Las Almas map just flows perfectly. It's really fast paced. It's more like what Warzone used to be back in Warzone 1, which obviously a lot of players are like sort of missing right now here in Warzone 2. Could be interesting to see how that plays out. Then the final thing I want to focus on here to round things out for today is with these various different locations, as we've already talked about, there are locations lining up on this Las Almas map from Ground War. And then to fill out the rest of the map, I wouldn't be surprised if, some of these other locations, Favela especially, since that's obviously already a classic multiplayer map, maybe areas like Baseball or Mall or Historic or Airstrip, whatever the case may be, we could eventually end up seeing those debut as new 6v6 maps or new Ground War maps as well. Even before this Las Almas map debuts in Warzone later on, potentially in 2023, as I mentioned earlier. So that'd be a cool way to sort of tease the Las Almas map before it's fully available. Also, of course, if and when this does end up coming to fruition, it would also end up being available in DMZ as well. So a lot of shared content, but also a lot of really cool brand new content as well. So yeah, with all that being said, those are all the new leaks for the new Las Almas map in Warzone 2, and that's going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you guys are new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date with absolutely everything going on in the world of Call of Duty. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a spicy discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I sincerely apologize for my horrendous voice. Hopefully, I'm back to normal soon. But until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.